Welcome, welcome to the Reality Check with Charles Butler. Little Gil Scott here to wake us up and get us going as usual. Hey, there's a lot of things going on. The impeachment inquiry. I've said time and time again that that's a sham. President Trump had to tell us that that's a sham. We that's a sham. I must say though that uh, we have a true warrior in Congresswoman. Uh, what's her name? Singh. I have it right here. She is truly a breath of fresh air and someone that we need to stand up to these Democrats and show them that they're not the only ones who can yell, who can scream, who can holler, who can try to demand attention. Stefanik, that's her name, Congresswoman um, Elsie Stefanik. She's a New Yorker and she's a New York Republican, and she took it directly to Adam Schiff, who tried to cut her off last week or last Friday at every turn. And she said, what? This is the fifth time you've interrupted a duly elected member of. I love it, even though she was out of order. And during that particular part of the inquiry, the only people allowed to speak from the minority side was the ranking members. So, hey, she did what she did. She got what she wanted to accomplish. I loved how she dealt with Adam Schiff, though, and how she dealt with the ambassador. We're going to talk about that a little later. But what I really want to address, because I was, as I was preparing for the show, I ran across this comment from President Obama. President Obama's been pretty low key, as all of these presidential wannabes have turned out for the Democrats. I think it went from 17 now down to about 12 or something. I have no idea. I'll have to count them up tonight. And you can't really go by who's on stage because you have to qualify to be on stage, and some people haven't qualified, yada, yada, yada. Oh, I get it. It's all a game. It's all in the game called politics. So, but Barack Obama been very low key, and he said at a fundraiser over the weekend, and that a New York Times reporter. This is from a New York Times reporter, so it's not from Fox News. It's not from some Breitbart. It's not from some right-wing leaning rag. It's from the New York Times, that liberal, ultra-liberal rag. Mr. Obama's message to the Democrat presidential candidates is simply this. And this is a quote from President Obama. Even as we push the envelope and we are bold in our vision, we also have to be rooted in reality. The average American doesn't think we have to completely tear down the system and remake it. He's absolutely right. And guess what? I thought the same thing when he said we're going to fundamentally change America. So he knows by what he speaks. He knows what he's talking about. Let's be clear. Because this is a guy who said, we're 5 days away from fundamentally changing America. So get out and vote. And I'm like, fundamentally changing America. Why would we want to do that? So now we all know what his fundamentally changing America was all about. His LGBT agenda, his, let's placate China agenda, his turn the cheek and walk the other way away from Vladimir Putin as he took over Crimea. I can be more flexible. Tell Vladimir I can be more flexible after my election. And everybody just looked the other way. Okay. But with Trump, he can't breathe with someone saying, "Hey, the president breathed today, and that is a violation against humanity. Trump is supposed to be dead. He beat Hillary. Let's kill Trump. How can God have this man?" These people, they're horrible. They're horrible. And, nobody checks them. But I tell you, uh, Barack gets it. And he knows that these people are so far left that they will never, ever uh, get America to support them. And I say this now, and I'll say it again and again. President Trump is going to win by a landslide. I do believe that. And the reason I believe that is because I hear and I see too many people who say that they're going to support Donald Trump, regardless. They're not going to support. They don't care about the impeachment. Uh, they don't care about the Democrats and what the Democrats have to say, because at the end of the day, the Democrats haven't done much for anyone. And especially black people who go out and vote for them election cycle after election cycle, and talk about, I'm a Democrat. How stupid is that? I'm a Democrat. I mean, really? I always say, so what? Well, my grandmother was a Democrat. I said, well, she didn't have that much intelligence. You should be smarter than that. But people vote like their family voted for, and I get it. But my family never was like that. We had our discussions and learned about the candidates and learned about what they did, because as I conclude time and time again, college is not about a piece of paper. My college education was about a journey. It was about learning. It was about understanding how things work and putting things together. And they didn't always fit neatly and nicely, okay? But they fit. They fit. And I just want you to listen how um, um, Stefanik, how she questions the Ambassador Yovanovitch, about her statements. Hold on, listen. So she was constantly interrupted by Adam Schiff, and the ranking member Nunes had to step in and rescue her and say, "Okay, I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak and to ask Ambassador Yanovich a couple of questions," and she did. And this is how it went. Listen. Now, wow, that was powerful. I don't know if it came across because I'm trying to work with different systems here. So I don't know if it played through to your side, to Facebook out there, and don't know if you can hear me or if you can hear uh, the broadcast and when I play the clip. So I'm trying to get you all to give me some feedback because I'm trying to set up this new system. So, but the reality is those were great questions. They were short, they were simple. We didn't have to talk about quid pro quo. We just talked about plain common sense, pragmatic issues, and those issues are. I'm going to ask this caller, Uncle Mike Pendro. Hey, Uncle Mike, how you doing out there? Let's see. I'm going to ask him. Did you hear? Did you hear the Congresswoman, Congressman Stefani? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so just trying to work this thing out so that you guys can hear what's going on and not hear what's going on. I'm just trying to figure it out. Can you hear Congresswoman Stefani? Yep. So that's what happens when you're trying to do this stuff on your own. It's interesting. So Obama, the Obama administration, the Obama administration had already been suspect of Hunter, and what Hunter was doing was questionable at best. With this organization that was already under investigation. Seems like there's a lot of light on me, but that's okay. More light's better than no light, I guess. Um, but we'll work on all that stuff. We'll get it straightened out. So fast forward, Hunter Biden working for Burisma. His daddy asked that the prosecutor be taken off of the case because he's corrupt. But Ambassador Yovanovitch just said that they were looking into the corruption at Burisma. Now, how could this prosecutor not be a pro uh, anti-corruption prosecutor, as Yovanovitch stated earlier in her testimony, when she testifies right here that he was definitely going after a corrupt company and they kept their foot on their neck? Something's wrong. There's a conflict there. Or were we supposed to miss that? I think we were supposed to miss that, folks. We're not supposed to be that smart. Okay. So fast forward. There we are. Toast. She spilled the beans. They knew about Hunter Biden. They knew that what he was doing was questionable, and nobody stopped it. Nobody stepped in. And old Uncle Joe, Daddy Joe said, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you don't remove these people, then I'm not going to give you the money. Now that's a quid pro quo, pure and simple. Quid pro quo. Um, Now, Obama, in advising his folks to chill, he was absolutely correct because they need to chill. Because at the end of the day, people are angry and they're angry at Democrats. And they're not going to take this liberal agenda of $1,000 a month for every American. They're not going to put up with illegal border crossings and decriminalizing illegal immigration. People aren't going for that. They're not going for Medicare for all. They know that Obamacare is a bust at best. They know that the wall works. The Blue Wall Project, as a matter of fact, Obama's warning is buttressed, they say in this article, by recent swing state polling showing winnable voters are wary of abolishing private health care or legitimizing undocumented immigrant trips across the border. The Blue Wall Voices Project found that in four key Midwestern states, majority of swing voters view a ban on fracking, a national Medicare for all plan, and stopping border detainments of people coming into the country illegally as bad ideas. In fact, 71% of people in these swing states thought that. Let's hear from a guy named Robert Wolf, who's CEO of 32 Advisors, and what he had to say about what Mr. Obama said about these Democrat presidential candidates and their wild ideas. Yeah, you do have to get Congress to agree, and yeah, you do have to get one or two things done. But Mr. Wolf was very clear today that Obama is sending a warning, and that is that you guys can't get all this done. Um, and Linsky reported in the Washington Post today that under Warren's new plan, which she calls a Medicare for all option, all Americans would be eligible to participate in Medicare, but no one would have to. She would push for this initiative in her first 100 days in the White House, then make a separate effort to pass Obamacare for all in her first term. Experts and rivals portrayed the move as a retreat from one of Warren's highest profile policy positions on the matter that's of top importance to many voters. Her position, arguably, now resembles the public option favored by many of her centralist competitors, a proposal that would allow Americans to choose a government run program if they want it, rather than the mandatory approach favored by Senator Bernie Sanders. And sure enough, Mayor Pete and former President Joe Biden slammed both of her efforts, and to have this, widely circulated statement. And they just said, hey, you know what? You can't have it both ways, Liz. You can't have it that way. We're not going to let you. And people go on to say that no amount of political games or gamesmanship can save her plan from that fatal flaw. She still doesn't trust the American people to make the right health care decisions for themselves. As Pelosi said, we know what's best for you. Trust us. We know. That's when they passed Obamacare. How about that? They destroyed health insurance for about uh, 12 million people. And Joe Biden's camp jumped right on top of it, man. They didn't miss a beat. They were like, what started out as a mathematical gymnastics has been replaced by a full program of flips and twists covering every element of her plan. Reporting today indicates that this is because even her own aide didn't realize the importance of Medicare in this campaign until recent weeks, and have scrambled to land on a politically advantageous position. So Biden and his campaign, they're accusing her of bait and switch, which it is. I mean, that's exactly what she did. But it's not. She's not the first. She won't be the last. And Biden does the same thing. But they say that Warren retreated. She pulled back on the Medicare for all, following Obama's admonition, even before he issued it. Perhaps, but the resulting image is of an erratic politician whose heart is in the far left, but who sees her campaign in peril. No question, her campaign's in peril. Now that Mayor Pete has taken the number one position in Iowa. How about that? And by the way, Iowa State, congratulations on beating Texas, even though you messed up my polling. I would have had quite a few right if you guys hadn't done that to me, but yeah, you did. So, hey, what can I say? It's always good to be able to get up back on the radio. We're gonna get back on Red State and do that and work that out here shortly. But until we do that, I just wanted to get some things out there to you and talk a little bit about what's going on in today's climate and some hard hitting that's going on and some truth telling that's going on because it needs to be out there. We have to get the information out there. We have to get out there that uh, this impeachment inquiry is nothing but a witch hunt. It's nothing but stalling for time and trying to impeach the president. And I keep saying, for what? For what? Um, Broadcast. What the heck? The heck happened? I guess I don't know. Anyway, hey, look, we're going to sign off. That's what we're going to do. We're going to call it a day here. I don't know how that happened. How that sounded off. Why it sounded off. Let's see. Like I said, this 15 minutes. Okay, so this must be time set for 15 minutes. I didn't set it for 15 minutes, but we'll figure it out. Hey, look, talk to you later. Tune back in. Sprecher, Facebook, all that good stuff, YouTube. Thanks again for tuning in. Appreciate you.